but I have been working on loving myself. I've been working on that. And actually, the truth be told, I've been working on loving myself for a minute. But I recently got a hold of Louise Hay. I recently got a hold of her teachings. And, I might not subscribe to everything that people talk about, but I listen to hear, if there's anything pertinent or relevant to me. And so, and one of her main things that she talks about is loving yourself and how to love yourself. And so you can get in the mirror and you can say, I love myself, I love myself, I love myself. But you know what she says is the number one thing to allow you to love yourself is to stop criticizing. Just stop criticizing. And I'm going to be on this topic for a minute because what I know is there's only, Jesus, he wrapped up the whole 66 books of the Bible in two little verses. And one was like, you will love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your mind, with all your strength, right? Okay, that's clear. That's clear enough to understand. Then he adds in the second part, and you will love your neighbor as yourself. Man, and when I started digging into that and thinking about that. And so how can I love my neighbor? As it's no wonder that we're fighting and killing each other, because if I love my neighbor like I used to love me, I basically hate my neighbor because I wasn't loving me. And if I'm not loving myself, I sure can't love anybody else. And that's the part that we need to get to. Where is the love? The love for yourself and the love for your family, the love for your friends, the love for people, humanity in general. Where is that love? And I submit to you that it's severely lacking because we don't know how to love ourselves. And so I'm going to test you out today. I'm going to test you. I'm going to try you out on this little test right here. If you can you go an entire 24 hours without criticizing yourself? Without saying, I'm so stupid, I'm so dumb, why did I do that? Without beating yourself down. I want to be in the business of building myself up, not beating myself down. And God knows, and the thing is that when you start on this journey, you're going to find that you're going to have to, so what I heard her say recently was, if love is the house, forgiveness is the door frame. So you have to, if you're going to get into love, if you're going to get into loving yourself, you're going to have to go through the door of forgiveness, right? And so not just forgiving others, but forgiving yourself. Mistakes you should have you made, things that you should have done years ago that you didn't do, stuff that doesn't mean anything now. It means nothing now, but you're still beating yourself up for it. And so that's really like the one thing that I wanted to point out too, was that I just recently heard, I've been listening to her a lot. And so, and every time I do, I hear something different. And so I don't know if anybody's like me. For me, I don't know why I'm like this, but whenever I find something that's good, that's insightful, that's revelatory, that's something that I haven't heard before, but it's useful and helpful, I want to get in and I want to know it. I want to know it backwards and forwards, because what I know about me is I'm going to share it. And so I don't want to just be sharing anything, and I don't want to be just sharing willy-nilly. I want to have all the information and I want to know it. So the way that I do that is by listening to it, reading it, writing down things, writing down questions, trying to understand, picking it apart, understanding the research. Where did she get her information? Who did she study under? All the things. so that I can really grasp what it is that I'm going to probably be sharing with somebody in the near future. And what I also know is that if anything comes to me and it makes me do that, it makes me, get on this track of studying or whatever, I know that soon and very soon there will be an opportunity for me to share that information. Like, it doesn't just come to me and then fall dead. It normally, if it comes to me and I'm studying, sure enough, somebody will come by and ask me to speak at some conference. Somebody will come by and ask me to speak to their group. Somebody will ask me to teach a Bible study. Somebody will ask me to do something to share the information on the inside. So that's what I know. And so if you're like that, and even if you're not like that, what you should understand though is that learning is repetition. Mastery is repetition. You only are going to get good at a thing if you do it over and over and over and over and over again. Michael Jordan says he was only good because the main reason for his success is because he did the fundamentals, the basics. But he did it over and over and over and over again. And I know we think that we need to master all kinds of different things, have a plethora of things. But really the truth is, when you talk to really successful people or really high net worth individuals or people who have mastered a certain craft for over a period of time, when you talk to them, they've just done the same thing. The same one thing over and over and over again. I think about Stradivarius, the guy who built those violins, and all he did was build violins. No wonder they're fantastic. And still, even though he built them in the 1700s, maybe even 1500s, I'm not really sure on that one, but they're of such value, such high value today, because he took an excellent interest in the fundamentals of building it. And that's what it is. And so I'm trying to take an active interest in the fundamentals of learning, of making me better, improving myself. I've been on this journey of self-improvement for a long time. And, it seems never ending. And that's really the truth. It is, in fact, never ending. So there's something to be said about improving yourself and working on yourself. Because I heard Martha Stewart say, when you're through changing, you're through. And so I'm going to leave you with that. When you're through changing, you're through. And if you're interested in going on the loving yourself journey, like I said, I've been on this journey. And let me just tell you, let me just give a little shout out about myself. So I started the journey on March 27th. And I went 30 days to my birthday, April 27th. And in that 30-day time, in just the little not criticizing myself, getting in the mirror, building myself up, telling myself that I loved me and that I'm worthy of love, and then saying some affirmations, some things that I want to go well, things that I want, like I love this day, I love this life, I can't wait to see what's in store. By building myself up in that 30-day period of time, I experienced unexpected money deposited into my account without me knowing about it or looking for it. It wasn't an income tax return either. I experienced gifts. Random gifts from people I did not know. In that period of time, I experienced the opportunity to come back to California, to come back home. All this happened in that short little period of time. And I believe that it was because I started not just loving myself and not criticizing myself, but I'll tell you what happens. When you stop criticizing yourself, you can't really criticize anybody else. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't really feel the same way. And trust me, I was a lifetime critiquer, a lifetime critic. Like I could have been with Siskel and Ebert, a lifetime critic about any and everything, because that's exactly what I was doing to myself. And so when that ended, and in that 30-day window, I couldn't criticize anybody else, but I would say every morning, I would open up my arms really big, like, and I would say, I am open and receptive to receiving all good. I'm open and receptive to receiving all good. And I've been receiving good ever since. All good inside, you have it on the outside. And whatever you put out there, you're going to get back. You're always going to, whatever seeds you plant, you're going to reap a harvest of those seeds. And when you reap a harvest, you don't just reap one thing back. You reap an abundance of things back. So that's what I have for you today. Give me a like. Check out my offering on Gumroad, and get in there and look at it and tear it up, and give me your feedback and let me know what you think about it. I'm so curious to see like what people think, if they actually feel like it's helpful, useful, or woo woo, or whatever you want to say. I mean, you can act like things are woo woo, or you can give it a listen. I always try to, like, I've heard a lot of like, ooh, I've heard a lot of different philosophies from a lot of different people over the years. And one of the things that I've always tried to do is just listen. Let me just hear them out. Let me just hear what it is that they have to say. And sometimes the stuff is like way out there. I can't get back to it, right? But other times that thing sits in there a little bit and it starts working on me. And I start investigating and I see, oh yeah, okay, that's legit. So you never know. Be a lifelong learner and see what comes your way. All right. Love you, fam. Talk to you soon. Bye.